Live.
Hi, everybody. So we're doing a quick live, quick. We have 9 minutes before Chris has a meeting that he's going to be late for. So welcome back to Coffee at the Cove. I'm Christy. Who else is here? Announce yourselves.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve.
I already drank my coffee at the Cove.
I have no coffee anywhere near me.
It's 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm on your time, Christy, in Boston.
I know, so you don't need coffee. It's like if you have coffee now, it'll be too close to dinner time or sleeping time. So Steve is in Boston, traveling for work. Sorry about his face; it's a little dark. And Andy's at a children's museum, so he can have the dark face at the children's museum. Insert all awful comments here. Okay, so this afternoon, instead of eating lunch and watching TV, I listened to a cruising update from Royal Caribbean Group's CEO, Richard Fain, who might possibly be my favorite CEO of a company. He comes on and talks to travel agents and other people like once a month and gives an update. There's also all this talk about his hair because he hasn't, as he described today, gone to a barber because, we're not supposed to be doing stuff like that, or his state's still in lockdown or whatever. So either way, he's just a really cool guy. So there were a couple of takeaways, and I was texting the guys about the takeaways, and Steve's like, hey, let's do a coffee at the Cove. So we thought we would come on and give you 5 minutes.
Cool. So what are some of the things that he updated you with, Christy?
So one of the important things that he said, or one of the things that I actually posted on my personal Instagram story, maybe I'll share it to the DCL page as well, is that he is working. They have this, I can't speak today. Royal Caribbean has like a group of advisors that they started putting together. Well, then Richard Fain said that he called up another CEO, because that's what they do. They can just call each other up. And I think it was Norwegian. And they said, oh, we're already talking to this guy. We're putting together an advisory group too. And he said, look, let's put them all together. Let's join forces and actually have everybody come up with an advisory group. I don't know exactly who's involved, but there's several cruise lines or cruise companies involved in this advisory group because they said safety is not to be competed upon, which I think is awesome. So what they're saying is they're going to come up with, this advisory board of experts are coming up with procedures to make cruising as safe as possible for people coming back so that we can go back to cruising. What happens then if there is somebody that is positive once the cruise begins, things like that. So they're putting together an advisory board so that they can make cruising as safe as possible. And they're doing it together so that Norwegian Group is not coming up with their own, whatever they're going to be technically called, right? But they're not coming up with their own group, and Royal's not coming up with their own group, and everybody's competing and trying to come up, oh, we're going to be the safest, we're going to be safe. No, they're sharing the knowledge so that everybody can be safe, because it's better for the cruise industry as a whole to work together than separately.
I totally agree with that. Working together and getting it back on its feet and moving forward. I wish the airlines would do that. You kind of see similarities in the different companies doing kind of the same things, requiring masks and whatnot. But I love the fact that when you look at Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, it's not just Norwegian and Royal Caribbean. There's several other cruise lines underneath those companies.
Right. It's the companies that they own. So Royal Caribbean, which just like rebranded their name or whatever, but they own obviously Royal Caribbean. They own Celebrity. They own Azamara, and they own Seabourn, and then they own a couple of other like European lines. And so it's not just one, it's not just the Royal Caribbean cruise ships that they're referring to.
Exactly. And Chris is getting a lot of love for his shirt.
Are you? I haven't looked at the comments yet. Okay. I love that shirt. Chris, stand up a little bit so we can see the rest of it. I love it so much.
I've been Disney Cruise Line.
Like to come and
I will say I am thrilled. I'm thrilled by this news, and I hope that Disney joins, because I think that when the entire cruise industry is meeting the same standards and preventing COVID cases, that is really good for the industry. Likewise, if even one cruise ship has an outbreak of COVID, it'll be bad news for the industry as a whole. And it won't matter if it's not your cruise line, because what will be on the news line, like the headlines, is COVID spreading or whatever on cruise ships, and it'll scare people away. So if everybody is following the same procedures and really being safe, I think we all stand to benefit, and we all want to go back to cruising as soon as possible.
Yes. And that leads me to the second point that he didn't make, but that I'm making assumptions off of. So the point that he did make was that this advisory board, he first said a couple of months and we were all like, wait, what? But then he changed it. It was probably a couple of months when it got started. But the advisory board owes a response to the cruise industry by the end of August. So what are you guys all taking away from that? The same thing I tweet or as texted, I'm sure, which is if they're getting the recommendations at the end of August, the likelihood is we are not cruising mid-September. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
maybe
because
we have to get the people back to the ship.
Right. I mean, it's going to have to take them the chance. I mean, they've also still have to work to the CDC and get the CDC to buy off whatever new protocols or procedures that they come down with.
It comes back to the cruise line. Then they come up with whatever their procedures are going to be. Then they submit it. They have to submit it within themselves. Then they submit it to the cruise industry. Or to the CDC. And then the other people that need to approve it, maybe cruise port cities or something like that. Whatever other people in the government need to do that.
And we just lost Chris because he had a prior engagement at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whatever time, 11 o'clock his time.
Yeah.
So he's out doing his real job. But no, I think you're totally right on that. I mean, once they come up with these protocols, but I think it's good news in the fact that they're working together. Like Chris said, I would love to see if Disney and the rest of the cruise lines would work together on this to come up with some protocols to work with the CDC and kind of get us moving forward again.
And we don't know, frankly, that they're not working. I don't know who all is involved in this group. I know for sure Norwegian is. I know for sure Royal is because they have indicated that.
Yeah. I don't want to suppose anything. We'll see what comes out from it. But I think it's some great. Did he talk about anything else before we get out here today, Christy?
No, those were he did say that he suspects they will be cruising at about 60% when the ships first start sailing again for safety reasons. So sort of like the airlines are doing.
Yeah, kind of keeping the social distancing available on the ships by reducing the number of passengers. So
yeah, so I will keep you guys posted when we hear other things like this when it comes forward as well. The other thing that I just makes me love Richard more, and I'm not gonna not tell you again on here because I think it needs to be noted, that he said, because somebody asked if they were ever going to buy a river cruising company, and he was like, I'm not ruling it out. And then he said, I'm a business person. We're going to keep all viable business opportunities available. And I love that he used the words business person instead of I'm a businessman. And as a businessman. So anyway, every now and then.
Sorry about the little.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Christy. Sorry.
Every now and then I have to be a bit of a feminist and be excited about stuff like that.
No, I love it. And well put too. Sorry about the glitch. This is streaming off my camera. So the glitch is a little bit. It's as good as a cell service here where I am in Boston. So anyways, well, thanks, Christy, for this quick update. I thought it was kind of cool to bring it out to people. I hope everybody out here listening to it and sees this, I hope you're enjoying this. It's kind of a new toy that we're kind of playing with, aren't we, Christy?
Yes, and you get us exactly like you find us.
Yeah, exactly.
Steve stopped his walk so that we could do this. I'm looking like this, and this is just how it's going to be.
Yeah, but I think it's cool. I think this is fun, a quick, easy way to get information out rather than the weekly podcast or putting up a special podcast or something like that. So let us know what you guys think about this. We will keep bringing you more Coffee with the Coast videos as news comes up or we come up with topics to talk about. And I sure appreciate all of you who listen to us and come back each and every week.
Yeah, so we will post this also to our YouTube channel so that people who only listen either on the streams or wherever else can get this information. And at least for a period of time, this will be live. So while it's still relevant, once it becomes irrelevant or non-relevant, we'll probably remove it from being in the feed. But just so if there are people that don't have Facebook that want to get this information as well.
Yeah, and if you, I have to apologize. If you are, I'll get the link to YouTube. There's actually 2 DCL podcasts on YouTube, and one of them is a bunch of gamers, and I think they have like 1 or 2 videos or something like that. I actually made our channel before they did, but they started posting videos before we did. So
it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll get a link out there. So if you'd rather watch this on YouTube rather than having Facebook open or something like that, we'll have that on as well. So, well, thank you so much, Christy. Really appreciate you bringing this news and information to all our listeners.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
All the best.
Enjoy the rest of your
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah, you too. And everybody out there, have a great day. Be well. And we'll see you on our next podcast.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.